Hey, CCG family. Yes, it's that time of the week again. So let's get this episode of This Week in Crypto started. It is February 3rd, 2018, and yep, we're on episode 5. So let's not waste any time. There's a lot going on this week, or has been going on this week. So we're going to break the routine a little bit here and talk more about the market and how to survive this quote unquote bloodbath that's been going on. Now, I know there's been a lot going on in the news, and a lot of it has been it's been creating a lot of fear. And so I don't want to focus on fear. What I do want to do is I want to step back and look at how the market trends and why what we're really seeing shouldn't be setting off any alarms or any panic. Now, it's the job of the media to create panic because when weak hands panic, they pull their money out, prices drop, and then the real investors can actually put their money in and grab up these prices at such low price levels. Now, I do want to go up with a few. I do want to go through and just go over some titles of what's been in the news. One of the biggest things that a lot of people have been kind of talking about and saying that, oh, this has been the reason for the crash, or this has been the reason that. Let's be really honest. This isn't a crash per se. It's a adjustment. It's a retracement, right? And every week it's something new. Apparently this week it's India's finance minister who spoke in a stern tone on cryptos in his budget speech. According to his transcript, which was published by Live Mint, Arun Jaitley basically gave an annual budget speech reiterating the policy view, and he stated that the government would take measures against tech's use for illegitimate purposes. Now, a lot of people misinterpreted that and thought, or that he stated that cryptocurrency in general would be shut down in India. Absolutely not the case. We've had a ton of other news that has been striking fear this past week. But in all honesty, when I look back, I see nothing but positive stuff, right? Just looking through here, I'm looking at some of the other information that was coming in, like Tether confirms its relationship with its auditors was dissolved. And then there was this whole Tether and Bitfinex issue that, oh no, Tether may not be legitimate. They may not be backing up each Tether with a USD or US dollar. So there's been a ton of this fear going on. And it's very interesting that even Facebook decides to say, you know what, we're not going to put in any, or we're not going to allow ads, cryptocurrency ads in our Facebook feeds. It almost seems like this was planted and planned after the conference in Davos by those people that hold a big amount of stake, or the whales in cryptocurrency, just to drive the prices down. I want to remind you guys one thing. The cryptocurrency market, in all honesty, is built on speculation because there is very few products that have been built on it. So the deal with speculation is, we have to keep this in mind. The only way to move the market numbers is through creating fear or creating uncertainty or some type of doubt that will have people pull their money out or exchange their crypto for a US dollar or whatever currency, fiat. Now, I also want you guys to know this, right? There have been some good things in the media, but that's not what most of the media focuses on. We've seen Hong Kong that wants to educate the public on cryptos and ICO, which I think is a big thing, because what that's showing is that Hong Kong is okay with cryptocurrency. Um, there was another ETF that was launched, uh, Next Gen Protocol ETF. Why would they be launching these ETFs if crypto were dying? Right? Bitcoin exchange Huobi, I hope I'm saying that right, is opening a US office. And this is a Chinese-based company, and it's actually previously the country's largest crypto exchange that's actually now planning to open up offices in San Francisco. Um, why are we getting so many progressive steps towards adopting cryptocurrency, such as Samsung, which is building Bitcoin mining chips? Why would a company focus on putting their resources in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrency if it were dying? So I just want to say this. I'm not going to go through all the news articles because we've heard enough of the fear, and a lot of the news is going to be a bunch of fear. But I just want to highlight the fact, like Bitcoin tax payment bill, right? That's Arizona's bill, or their lawmakers that are advancing on a proposal that would allow you and I, or residents in the state, to pay their taxes in Bitcoin. Guys, if Bitcoin were dying, this would not be happening. Nor would FedEx and UPS be moving forward with blockchain logistics plans, right? So we need to kind of step back a little bit and really think about what's going on. Before I move on, actually, I really do want to say kudos to Illinois. Illinois is actually looking at blockchain for IDs and public asset management. Remember, Illinois has always been in the news in the past 2-3 weeks. So this is really, really good, really good. But let's go on. Let's really talk about what's been going on here and break this down. The first things first. I want you to know one thing. I'm not some guy that owns $1 million lounging on the beach because I've made billions somewhere in the Caribbean, or I don't have a Lambo parked in my garage. When the market dips, we all feel the hurt. The question is how much of that hurt do we feel? Is it something that substantially affects us, right? And how do we really navigate through these downward swings? Let's remember that as fast as this market can move upwards, it can also drop just as fast, and at times even faster. And we saw this on Thursday, Friday, and even today, where we're as it's steadying out a bit. And let's focus on this one thing, guys. We say this over and over again, especially in the member section. Please, only invest what you can afford to lose. You probably heard this everywhere by all these people that are talking about crypto. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell does that mean? Well, there are some people out there who've taken out mortgages on their houses or sold everything they have to put into this market. And then there are some people out there who have charged cryptocurrencies or cryptocurrency purchases on their credit cards, and now they're sitting in credit card debt. All in hopes of what? Doubling, tripling, or even 10xing their money in the crypto market. All I can say is please don't do that. Don't stop living your life just for a pipe dream of making millions. And even that, it's a make millions quick scheme. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm not talking about the news, but realistically, do you want to hear the UPS and FedEx are looking into the blockchain? Or do you really want me to go into the details of how India's finance minister speech has thrown things out of whack, caused panic, or any of the other things that can make you feel crappier or spook you even more than you have been by watching these numbers drop? Actually, if you're watching the numbers drop, stop it. Guys, stop driving yourselves nuts by watching the screen or your phone or, whatever you're staring at. Take the time to sit back and reflect. We talk about this in our member section all the time, right? We talk a lot about investing what you're willing to lose and how to invest smart. So take this as a learning lesson. If you invested properly, you wouldn't be this stressed out over your portfolio. Now, what does that mean? I had a talk with one of my friends yesterday, and he was literally freaking out over his portfolio. And finally, after listening to him, I finally had to say it. If you're worried about the dip, because guys, this is the dip we talk about all the time. But if you're worried about the dip right now, something's wrong. And guys, you know how we talk about buy the dips? Welcome to the dip. Now, if at this moment you're worried about your portfolio, then there's a few things that are going on. And I want you to honestly sit back and think about this. Now, maybe you bought on the way up and not the dip. Rather, you bought at all-time highs. Things happen. We make mistakes. As a matter of fact, we're programmed in such a way that when we see the market rising, our brains want to invest. That pleasure center in our brain, it lights up. And we really just want to be involved. But when we do that, we end up getting involved because we don't want to miss out on what? The opportunity to make money or have fun or do everything that everyone else is doing. That is the definition of FOMO, the fear of missing out. And maybe by investing through FOMO, we invested in the highs. And now we're feeling the pain when the market dips. Or maybe we invested more than we were willing to part with. There's one rule I live by. The one rule that I tell my friends and family, and I've talked about it a million times. I talk about it in the member section, talk about it in podcasts. I talk about it to anyone and everyone that I have a chance to talk to about crypto. And that's only invest what you can afford to lose. What does that really mean? First of all, if you put your money into the market, whether it be the stock market or the crypto market, and you put in $250 or $2,050 or even $20,050, when the market dips, you will miss it. It just moves too fast. So, what is the best way not to get caught up in the hype? What's the best way not to put in more than you can afford? However you want to put it, what is the amount that if you put into the market and it disappears tomorrow, that it won't have you kicking yourself and thinking about it all day and all night where you can't sleep? Let me tell you what I do. Now, this isn't something that you may want to do, or maybe it is something you want to do. It's all about building discipline. When you invest in a market of any sort, it's about building discipline. And not only that, it's about understanding one thing. Markets are made to move money. The real question, as I posted on Facebook, was from where to where? Now, honestly, a market is really made to move money from the many to the few. And what do I mean when I say from the many to the few? Is it the top 1%? It could be, because they usually have more money to weather the storm. But what I'm really saying is, I want you to think about this. The market is made to shake money from the majority of investors that news and fear and all this stuff plays on their psyche, and they decide to call it quits or pull their money out. And it benefits the few who decide to buy it up in these times of panic. I basically, when it comes to when I should buy and when I should sell, I listen to Warren Buffett. When people are panicking, when people are selling, when there is chaos, utter chaos going on, you should be greedy. And when people are being greedy, you shouldn't be putting your money in. That says a lot. I mean, if you think about it that way, while the market was dipping and all these people, and I'm not saying that they're wrong at doing this. This is their money. They can do this if they want. They can move, they can leave the market whenever they want to. They have a right to. But when the majority of the people were pulling their money out as the prices were dipping, what was going on? Someone on the other end was buying. Because realistically speaking, I cannot give my cryptocurrency or my stock or my share and get US dollar from it unless there is someone buying on the other side. So we have to take a step back and we really have to think about this. If I'm willing to sell my crypto, who's the guy on the other side or girl who is willing to buy at these lows? Now, it could be a bank. It could be someone exorbitantly rich who can weather the storm, who can say, hey, you know what? So what if it falls a little bit? I've got $3 million in reserve that I can use to buy up this crypto. Or it could be the guy that's budgeted his investments and understands that when everyone is trying to sell, that's the time when he or she has the power and they can buy. Power is defined by buying power, right? So while everyone's selling, who is that person that's buying? Is it you? Is it me? So I really want to talk about what I do to increase my buying power. We all get paid a paycheck. And honestly, you get your paycheck. I pay my bills. I pay my student loans first. You know, you may need food. You may need some gas money, etc., etc. All that comes first, guys. Investing should not take precedence over all that. But here's the thing. Now, I used to wake up and get a cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts every morning on my way to class. And sometimes I'd splurge and go to Starbucks. All until I started investing. Because when I started investing, I started trying to find ways to increase the amount of money I could invest. So, to invest without feeling like I was missing out on living my life. Now think about it. A cup of coffee from Starbucks is what? $2.45? Right? $4.75 if you go for the white chocolate mocha that I like so much. Now, if I were to brew a cup at home, a bag costs me about $20. And I can make about 40 cups out of that bag. It's about an average of about, 50 cents a cup? So I end up saving $1.95 every day for 1 month, we're going with just the regular coffee at $2.45 from Starbucks. I end up saving $1.95 every single day for 1 month. Now that ends up being $58.50 a month. That's $702 a year, guys. Remember, we're not trying to get rich quick. What we're trying to do is we're trying to build wealth, and it takes time to build wealth. Because with wealth, you have security. Now, I also like to invest a set amount every month. And I do this by dollar cost averaging in every week. What you're doing here is you're doing two things with this. The most important thing you're doing with this whole concept is you're building discipline. And you're tricking your mind to see the investment as just small bits of cash. I lost $10 here. I lost $15 there. No big deal. When you look back, let's just say you invest $150 a month. That's about $1,800 a year. And then add the coffee. Now you've invested about $2,500 without feeling the hurt. Right? You've made little changes in your life that have allowed you to invest a certain amount. Now, there's no need to feel overextended when investing. You aren't doing it to buy a Porsche or to buy a Lambo in about a year. Because let's get real. Not even Warren Buffett throws money like that. I was reading an article a while back where Warren Buffett calculates to the penny what he is having at McDonald's. Because he goes to McDonald's for breakfast every morning. Why? So he can take the amount spent, turn it around, and invest what he didn't spend or what he saved. Now, what's the difference between him and us? He's just had more years than you and I to build this discipline to invest properly. So guys, there's a theme going on here. It's not about throwing a large sum of money at the wall and seeing what gives. It's not like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing which one if it sticks or not. A lot of this has to do with just changing the small things in your life to allow you to move your money or reposition your money so that you can then put it into the market. If you're doing that, and especially if you're dollar cost averaging in, right? And what that means is every Monday, this is what I do. I will put in $10 in Bitcoin, $10 in Ethereum, and $10 in Litecoin. Some weeks it's high. Some weeks it's low. But it all averages out, guys. During crashes like this or during these dips, what ends up happening is that dollar cost average really averages out. When Bitcoin dropped below 8K this time, and I opened up my portfolio, I was still about 25 to 30% in the green. Now, it wasn't because I made lucky choices. It's because I was disciplined enough to invest on a regular schedule. A dollar costed average in. And not only that, if I were in the negative, would it have bothered me? No. Because what did I really give up? I gave up maybe not eating out twice a week. That's about $30 there on average. I gave up not getting a Starbucks coffee every day. And so those little things, those little things that I gave up that you think you can give up aren't going to hurt. You're not going to feel that pain if you lose it. Now, if you dump $2,500 on Thursday and the market dips in a month, you're going to feel that because your brain can sense that, oh, I just dumped in cash and I lost it all. So what we're doing is we're creating a discipline, but at the same time, we're hacking our minds to think a certain way. And guys, if you're feeling the hurt and you're really stressed out right now, you need to reevaluate what you're putting into the market. And by that, I mean it's too much. It's basically your brain telling you one thing. Your subconscious is telling you you've put in too much. You shouldn't be stressed out if you've only invested what you can afford. And one of the best things you can do in moments like this is, guys, huddle. Not just hold, but hold on for dear life. When times get tough in crypto, you need to hold on and not sell. Because as the market drops, you're losing money, but anything that goes down will come back up. And usually it comes back up faster and higher. Now, we saw this last year when around January 2017-ish, it was about $750 to $1,000 was the range it was in. And then through the rest of the year, it shot up and basically 19,000, touched 20K at one point. And now we see a retracement. And it held pretty strongly at that 8,200 line, dipping a little bit, but just bouncing right back, bobbing right back up. But that correction was needed. These corrections are definitely needed in order for the market to stay healthy, in order for the market to push up again and go further than the 20K mark. Guys, at the lowest of this retracement, there were currencies that were still up. Bitcoin was still up by 800% from last year, January. Ethereum was up well past 1,000%. So that has to tell you something. If you're losing money in this market, you're investing in highs. You're falling into the trap of the hype. And that can really, really be the big difference. Anytime this market goes down, guys, hold. And I like to also start buying in. We were just talking about this while we were sitting around together. I have a goal set for myself. I like to say, hey, you know what? I'm doing $200 a month. I'm going to put in $200 a month, which is $2,400. Of that, I'm going to dollar cost average $30. So it's 10 Bitcoin, 10 Litecoin, 10 Ethereum. Right? Then I'm going to take $50 out and put it in my reserves. So now I've got $120 to play with. Wherever I want to invest, if I feel like investing when I see the small, tiny dips. What that does is when January comes around, because we see this almost every January, we see a correction. In December, things start to go down. They spike and then they start to go down at the end of December. Come January and February, things really dip down again. Things normalize from all those highs that we've been having from March on until November. But what that allows me to do is the money in my reserves allows me to spend, to buy cryptocurrencies as these big dips occur. So as you're selling to try to get out of there due to panic, I have buying power so that I can buy in at lower lows. Guys, these are some things to really think about. And every time your money doubles or triples, start practicing on taking some of it out. Start teaching your mind that it's okay to take a little bit out. Every time my money goes up by 3x, I'll take 5% out. So when $100 becomes $300, I'll take 5% of it out into fiat. Because now what I'm doing is I'm creating buying power for those lows again. And that's just how you have to play the game. So let's take a breath. Let's not worry. Let's not panic. Let's not listen to the FUD. Let's not listen to all this stuff that the news channels are trying to put out there to freak us out. Because that's all it is. It's a plot to freak us out. So we sell. So that the banks can come up and purchase what they can at a low price point. And then control the market later. This is a healthy correction. This is something we need. This is something we want. And guys, join the members section because that's where I talk about the technology. Let's be honest. Over 80% of these coins are crap coins. And when I say crap coins, I mean they're pump and dumps. They're theories. They're ideas. But none of them have come to fruition. There are a handful, maybe the top 1, top 10, top 20 even, that may have a product. Understand what those are. Learn what the products are. Learn how the products solve a specific problem. If a crypto has a prototype or a product, learn what it is. Understand it. And see if you support that. Then invest. Don't just invest because someone's saying that this crypto is great, it's going to the moon. Or this is great, it's doing this. Or that crypto, you know what? They think they're going to do this or that or X, Y, Z. And that's what we do in the members section. We pull out cryptos that actually have a prototype or a platform or are in the middle of creating a product in alpha testing or beta testing. And we break down the white paper and we say, this is what is going on. This is the product. Do you believe in this product? If you do, put your money there. Because when you're investing in a technology, you will ultimately make money. The other thing you have to understand is you have to be able to understand the differentiation between coins and tokens. And we will be talking about that in the members section as well. What is a coin? What is a token? Why do they differ? And where should you definitely put your money? Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your due diligence. Always, always, always do your research. I'm just here to help facilitate the conversation and show you what I'm doing, the changes I'm making, how I'm investing so that maybe you guys can take something home from that and, make some money. At the end of the day, when you invest smart, you'll increase your wealth. You'll increase the amount of money in your pocket. But if you invest with fear, if you invest with emotion, you're always going to end up losing. So be very careful. This is a very good time to be able to put that fear, put that emotion into check, and to check yourself to see if you're overextended. All right, guys, that's it for this week. If you want to check out more, we do a lot of infos on different cryptos. We do have another video coming up on another crypto very soon this month. Check it out, cryptocoinguru.net. We're going to do a detailed breakdown of the white paper once again. And if you aren't a member already, join the CCG family. If you are, help a friend. Help someone in your family. Anyone that could benefit from this info, this knowledge, the knowledge of ICOs, of altcoin analysis, technical analysis, please send them towards the site. Help them become a member. Send them the podcast. Get them started. Help them out. Make sure they don't end up as suckers holding the bag. We want to help people out. Remember, it's about helping people grow their wealth, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Right? We don't want to see you guys getting burned, left with holding the bags. What we really want is we want you to invest wisely. Invest the right way. Get the knowledge. Empower yourselves to make calculated and educated investments. So join the Crypto Coin Guru family. Help someone out if you're already a member. And if you like what we're doing, if you like the info we're giving out, by all means, help us out. Donate a penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies. Actually, scratch that. One Satoshi, 0.0005 Satoshis, whatever it is you want to invest. Whatever you want to send us, we'll appreciate it. It's going to help us make things better for you, do more for you, make the quality of this podcast better, and teach more. So, guys, our wallet addresses are in the description below. We have the QR codes as well. That's about it. With that, keep smiling, keep on investing. And this is Crypto Coin Guru signing out. Till next week.